Hello all you wonderful Rise of Kingdoms players out there. This is Dragothien here, and today we're going to do a Commander Mastery Series guide on William. We've got William here right in front of you. I've gotten the chance to use him over the last 2 days in Kingsland and Lost Kingdom #1. More footage from that to come, of course. There's tons more rallies to show you guys and the pushes, and there's more fights to come anyway, so there's tons of stuff coming your way from that. However, having used William in the field, having used him in real world fighting, because honestly that's the only way I like to test. We do little one-on-ones here and there, but I never really truly make a decision on a commander until I actually use him in the field. So that's why I've waited to do William and really Chandra Gupta's mastery guides. There's plenty of one-on-one stuff out there if you want to see it, but this is from real world combat. This is from the real deal, why you actually want to max these guys in the first place. I know I don't max my commanders just to do one-on-ones in front of a city. So with that being said, William, okay, first and foremost, he's a must-have. And the reason I say that, so William is a must-have because he is the quintessential large field fight cav commander. And you can use him 5-5-5-1. You do want to max him eventually. I'd put him in the category of Takeda, where he can be usable at 5-5-5-1, but you really want to max him to get his biggest benefit. Same thing with William. I think that he is usable at 5-5-5-1, but to get his biggest benefits, which we'll go over the skills in just a moment, you should have him at least 5-5-5-1, but work on getting him maxed. Whereas, say, a Saladin, you really could, for the most part, use him at 5-5-5-1 indefinitely, unless you've got some decent sculptures sitting in your bank, just kind of hanging out. So with that being said, let's start going over the skills here. It's a little complex, so I want to make sure that you guys understand exactly what all these things do, because as I was using these and sifting through some of the battle reports, some things became a little more clear. So first off, this is his main primary active skill. It's an AoE that has a forward rectangle, which means it's not a fan like usual. It's not a circle like YSG. It is tried and true forward facing rectangle, long ways. It's not even width ways, it's length ways going forward. So I'm not sure how I totally feel about that just yet. I think in battle it works just fine the way that it needs to work, because I'm in massive group fights. I'm not necessarily going to need any particular shape. It's going to hit a bunch of stuff regardless of its shape. That being said, I wish it was a little bigger. Yes, I do wish it was a little bigger. However, at the end of the day, it does what it needs to do. It needs to hit more than one target for one of the other skills, which we'll go over. This does just fine. So the shape's fine. The size is fine. It would be nice to be a little bit bigger just to make it easier to hit some more things, but it does just fine for what I use it for. So damage dealt is reduced just like any normal legendary AoE commander, and their march speed is reduced by 30%. This is big, again, because of the fact that he is an open field swarm commander. So with that being said, the slower you make the march that you're trying to kill, the better. I mean, that's what you want. You're going to be able to swarm it down better because he can't run away and try and sneak away from you and get rid of all that damage that you're going to be pumping out. So 1500 direct damage factor. That's in between a Generation 1 legendary commander and a Generation 3 legendary commander. Reed, i.e. Minna, versus a Saladin, or any of the later archer commanders are kind of in that 1700 plus range. So it's kind of in the middle, but you'll see why as we go along. So that's the first skill. You want to max this first before you move on, of course. Second is Charge of Hastings. All cav units increase 20% attack and 15% march speed. So you're reducing their speed, you're increasing your speed, you're increasing your damage as you're destroying them, and this is the critical part, when outside of Alliance territory, and this is any non-Alliance territory, and I know that's basically what it says, but I want to be clear. When you're in KVK, even though you all have one color, those other alliances are considered off Alliance territory. It makes sense, but just to be clear so you guys know what you're doing. When outside of Alliance territory, troops led by this commander deal 10% increased damage. It's all damage, skill damage, as well as normal and counterattack damage as well. So all pieces of damage are increased by 10%. That's really big. Again, he is a murder ball champion. He is an open field fighter. This is exactly why that's the case, because of the skills that he has, very particular to when outside of Alliance territory. So this is a very good skill as well. Max this one before moving on. Third one, Norman Conquest. Now this one is the tricky, weird one that people are getting confused about. So I want to make sure I'm very clear on this. Another 20% on the attack bonus. Again, he is an offensive commander. You need to deploy him forward and front, doing some serious damage on the battlefield with his nuke as well as his normal damage. Now, normal attacks have a 10% chance to inflict direct damage of 800, which this escalates to 1,000 on the expertise, which we'll go over. And because, again, this is why you want him to be in the open field fights. If you're targeting somebody and you have all 5 of your marches out, you will do a surround bonus, which already gives a 15% increase to damage if you have a maximum surround. But also, again, on this, you get an additional piece of nuke damage. So if the target is surrounded, it will take extra damage, damage factor, number of surrounded troops times 80. So 5 times 80, that's 400. Plus the 800 here, you're looking at 1,200 direct damage factor if you have a target completely surrounded, whether it's with your troops or your alliance's troops or really anybody that's hitting the target, as long as they have 5, which, again, in open field, if you're doing it right and you're calling your targets, target that Genghis, target that YSG, target the Saladin, target the Chandragupta, whatever, right? Target the squishy, heavy damage dealing commanders, Edward, Ramses, all that, you will trigger this second piece of the skill. So you'll have a total of 1,200 damage factor coming out about once every 10 seconds or so. It's a 10% inflict chance. I've seen it go off a couple times in a row, and then I've seen it take about 15 turns. So it just depends on your luck and really kind of what's going on, but eventually you are going to get this extra damage, and it is very nice on top of your primary skill of 1,500 as well. Think El Cid, think Alex if he had a primary skill damage, but he does have the trigger, the 10% chance to inflict. Alex has that, same idea, okay? So that's what this skill is, and again, you also get a very nice attack bonus to boot on top of all that. Fourth skill, Hidden Bloodline. This one, when Hidden Bloodline hits a target, so that's your primary, this commander's troops gains 14% increased defense up to 20%. So I'm at 14% right now. I've got 2 more skills left to go. I'll max him on this next set of wheels next week for 3 seconds. But if you hit more than one target, which you should be, because again, William is not a one-on-one commander. He is an open field, destroy everything, swarm everything commander with tons of things on the battlefield to kill. This is where William comes into play. When you hit more than one target, not only do you get that bonus, but everybody around you and your allies, nearby allies, get that 14% bonus, and you and your allies get 50 rage per second for 3 seconds. That's 150 rage. Every single time that you fire off your skill, everybody around you gets 150 rage. If they're using Genghis, that's even better. If they're using Joan, that's even better. I mean, it all stacks up, guys. This all stacks up to basically making a murder ball. And everybody should have William, by the way, because this will all self-trigger each other. If you have a bunch of Williams on the battlefield, you're basically insta-filling rage bars, okay? So you need to get on the ball with this stuff. It's very, very nice to have 50 rage per second for 3 seconds. That's basically an extra 50 rage every single second. People spend tons of points to get 6 rage per second in their talent trees. This is 50. So you definitely want to have this maxed out eventually, but it's not game-changing to have level 5 versus level 1 because all of that extra bonus, that 50 rage, is not scalable. You get that at level 1. You get that at level 1 of the 4th skill. So really the only thing that scales is the defense bonus, which is nice, but it's basically a 10% difference. So that's why I'm saying 5551 is where you want to start, but max them because that extra 10% is nice. And then the expertise, Judgment Day. It's basically augmenting Norman Conquest, which is one of the ones we just went over. It gives a 30% chance or 30% bonus for a cav attack instead of 20, so it's ups the attack bonus, and you get extra damage on the extra 10% chance nuke. So it goes from 8 times 5, which is 400, to 100 times 5, which is 500, which makes, again, that in addition to the 800 to 1,000 damage factor for the nuke itself, it's a 1,500 damage factor nuke versus 1,200. So that's the bonus that you get from the expertise. And again, 1,500 damage factor nuke on the expertise, and then a 1,500 damage factor nuke on the primary. If you're firing both of these off basically once every 10 seconds, It's 3,000 damage factor, guys. That's a ton of damage pouring out. And then if you pair him with, say, somebody who increases skill damage, like a YSG or a Sun Tzu or even a Mehmed would work here fine, or Chandragupta, which we will go over next time on the Mastery series because I want you guys to get all the details that I've got from him too. He's going to be the commander to have on the open field, battlefield, bar none, hands down. You got to have him in the open field, guys. There's no question about it. Get him to 5.551. He is usable at that point. And then again, max him when you can, but it's not like mission critical. You've got to have Chandragupta maxed. You've got to have Genghis maxed. You've got to have all these other commanders need to be maxed to really be effective. Williams 5.551, and he's in good shape. I hope this has been helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, throw them in the comment section below. Please hit the like and subscribe button as well. This is a sponsored content creation channel for Rise of Kingdoms. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers. Have a good one. And take care.